Hi, we're those weirdos. I'm Missy, this is my husband Dom and our daughter
Rosie!
And this is our 2013 Sprinter conversion, the Sub. We were more like, dare I say it, more like a traditional family unit with a house, so we would go on holiday when we could afford it.
I had an idea that I took to my husband Dom and I said, hey, why don't we come up with this 3-year or 5-year plan and it'll end with us travelling around Europe in a van. And he said, hey, I've always wanted to go travelling. I wanted to take 3 years or maybe even 5, we weren't sure. I thought we'd need to save up lots of money first. We weighed up the pros and cons and decided to go sooner rather than later. Who needs a 3-year plan when you can do it tomorrow? We traded in our brand new car, got ourselves a DHL delivery van.
When we got the van, it was all shelved out with stainless steel shelving. It was a high security parcel van, so it had a big security bulkhead, and we thought, oh, we'll get that out in a couple of days. About a month later, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rosie, you helped with the rivets, didn't you?
Yes, I did rivet bashing. My nickname for while we were building the van was Rosie Rivet.
It took us 9 months to convert it.
Downsizing was quite hard, really. Particularly, Rosie, you found it quite hard too, didn't
Yeah.
you? The idea of having to get rid of your stuff.
Because a lot of my things were sentimental to me.
So if we got around that, Rosie was happy to sell some of her toys and she then collected up a big pot of money. She had over 100 euros to bring away with her. My books were important to me, so they're in boxes, they're in storage, and everything else I was just gladly getting rid of. Felt really nice.
We're exceptionally fortunate because we both work.
I run a nightclub. The events are only on every 2-3 months. So I still do that, and if we need to be back in England to run it, then we come back for that.
And I run a retail shop, but I was already doing mainly stuff online. So this is our 2013 Sprinter. It's a high top, long wheelbase. We particularly wanted a yellow one, slightly beetly maybe, perhaps a little bit more hippie than we would have liked, but we don't lose her. We put in the windows ourselves, so we had to cut holes in the van, and then the art was all me. Underneath we've got 70 litres of freshwater air assisted suspension, which meant that we could uprate up to 4 tonnes. Here, which we don't use very often, but we can hook up on the campsite if we need to, if we're really desperate, which we've had to do a couple of times in England when the weather's been a bit rubbish. We've got 3 roof bars, which we've bolted our bifacial solar panel to, which is 390 watts, but it can go up to 500 watts if the sun is very bright. At the front here we've got a max fan, the deluxe, and then we've got 2 humidity inlets. The fresh air comes in at the back and you get a nice flow to stop the humidity. And then at the back of the van we've got our 4 real portholes. In hindsight we're going to change them to ones that open. Rear camera there for reversing, which is quite handy. And then we've got extra storage here, all our electrics are behind here.
Dom already could do woodwork, so when we were thinking about how we were going to do the build, he can do woodwork, so it made no sense for me to attempt to do woodwork, just in the spirit of cracking on with the van, and then do it badly or do it worse than he could have. So he did that, and I thought, all right, well, what can I do that neither of us can do? And it was the electrics. We have 3 100 amp hour batteries, which means that obviously you can only use half. So we have 150 amp hours of battery power that we can use at any one time. In the middle here, we have our Victron multi-inverter charger. So that works as an inverter for the battery power that we already have, sending it to the plug sockets inside, so that's 230 volt. It works as a charger as well when we plug in. If we're at a campsite and we want to plug in outside to the mains, at the back there's a Sterling battery-to-battery charger, which is connected to the starter battery under the floor in the cab. If there's no sun, you can charge while you're driving. The last little things that we should mention is just inside, screwed to the ceiling in there, is a smoke detector in case there's ever a fire, and a fire extinguisher right next to it.
So originally we had a safe here, which we never used, so we took that out, put this in, courtesy of IKEA, and then I put this shelf in up here. And then we've got 2 boat winches, which ratchet it's a full-size double bed. So in the day, we can have the 2 sofas and then the bed's up at the ceiling. You've got the option of either a double or 2 singles down there, and our double up the top. I can do it from inside if you really have to, but it's a bit awkward. So it is easier to have the back doors open. Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, we leave the bed down when we're driving for safety. So if we're somewhere hot and we're outside, then we don't bother winching it up. Got a water inlet, but we've also got an extra tap here for sort of bulk filling, dog water bowls, what have you. We chose LPG. In Europe, it's everywhere. England not so easy, but still relatively easy. And then we've got a lock here. We tend to always have one person at the van, but if we need to, we can flip that over. Tractor light bar, getting joined in by the dog. Hello mate, you want to be on telly? Be a good boy. And then the only other thing you can see up on the roof is if you see the little bolt coming through there, the Sprinter comes with little pop-outs that you can take out for fitting a roof bar. So that's where the main struts for the bed winches are, through the roof.
Hi, welcome to the inside of the sub. Starting over here on the back of our kitchen, a little vent to let the heat from the fridge come out, little mirror. Down underneath, Dom's genius beer holding device. There's nothing much else to say about that. This is another of Dom's fabulous little inventions. It looks like a regular step, but if you've got a dog that needs to take up all this space, then you can flip that over and then he doesn't fall into your footwell. And if your dog likes a lot of toys, like our dog does, it doubles up as toy storage. We put in a double swivel seat so that you can turn it around and it gives you a lot more space. And it means that if you've got 4 people sitting around, you can all sit around the table together more. If you could go back on the seat, that'd be lovely, thank you. Okie dokie, we put in an overcab shelf to make the most of the storage space up there so that's not lost. It's a mishmash of stuff. It's like laundry stuff and cups coming around. This is just food storage. I'm not going to open it up because when you do, everything falls out on you. Underneath we have some magnet panels for Rosie's shell collection. This is her little special area really. It's all geared up for her. So she's got a sun hat. Over there you've got a couple of USB sockets and a 12-volt socket so she can charge her phone or her whatever she's using. A little light as well. So if we're traveling in the dark, she can still sit there and read and be comfortable. Dom made us a little table as well. The whole table can come out if you would rather have the leg room. This is plates and bowls and things like that. We have an odds and ends drawer, cutlery. We've got dog and cat food. Down the bottom we have another little invention. This is where the cats use their litter tray. And here we have it's like a wet room, so you can have a shower in there if you want. We don't have a shower plumbed in, so if you want to shower in there, you have to get the collapsible bucket out and you put that on top of the toilet seat. And then you get this, like a pump with a shower lead and a shower head. So you put the pump in the bucket of the warm water that you just boiled on the stove, and then you can use that to shower, and there's a little drain that goes to our grey tank underneath. We use it also for storing all of our bags and coats and so on. And we have a composting toilet in there as well. We have food storage up here. I can open this because it won't all fall out on me. Big, big, big copper sink. We love this. And it was originally going to be the same height as our cooker, which is normal, but we had such a big, deep sink and such a big gas bottle, which lives underneath it, that we had to raise the counter up. But it works well because I'm tall, so, you know, washing up is quite comfortable. Just down here, there's a little hole that you can stick your foot in, and then you pump your foot pump, and then we have water. We chose to have a foot pump so that we could be really aware of our water use. We didn't want to have something where you flick a switch and it keeps pouring out while you're washing your hands or something, because we knew we used too much that way, especially with kids. We have a little extra countertop that flips out up there. So, and we also have a chopping board that we can put on top of the sink. So you've got quite a lot of space. We love to cook. We've also got under here a fairly large fridge for a van. It's pretty big. And then just down the side here, which you won't be able to see, we have a 3 type of gas detector. That's there, and it has to be exactly at that place.
Welcome to our sofa area. We have our storage here, which we have a mix of drawers and cupboards. We have 4 units each. These are mine, and I painted these myself. This one, we got the perfect shade of yellow, which for me couldn't be a cold yellow, but had to be a warm yellow. I do drawing. And we added gold glitter to it, which shows much better in light. This is where the divider boards would be slatted in when my brother's here. Then we can make it into a double bed rather than just one big bed. The slats here extend out, and then the back of the sofa becomes the middle bit of the mattress. In here, we have various food, our mini oven, the Omnia, and various supplies down there. Under the mattress, there I can't show you, but the slats lift up and we have lots of spare clothes, snorkeling equipment, stuff like that stashed under there. And we have a little bookshelf, which is quite helpful when the bed's down because I can access really anything below that top shelf. One other thing that's quite important in here is all our plug sockets and USBs. So here we have a double regular plug socket with a regular switch to turn it on and off. Down here I have my USB socket to charge my phone and things. And in this cupboard, my brother has his USB sockets on a little movable block. But yeah, that's it. I'm really enjoying van life. I think it's great that we were able to bring all the pets too.
Travelling with animals was actually easier than we thought, really. You know, there's always challenges, and it is a small space, but it's been surprisingly
Well, you put up
easy,
with the
really, isn't it?
stuff because you really want to do the living in the van and the travelling. So, you know, the benefits far outweigh any negatives.
I guess advice for people considering a life change to van life would be simply just do it, because it is amazing. But if you're maybe scared of doing it or worried what your family will think, I think generally speaking, once you get past the shock of your sort of close relatives, everybody else is like in awe, really, aren't they? They just really wish that they could do it, I think.
Yeah.
And then in terms of how do you do it, we didn't know anything, did we?
No,
So
no, we knew nothing. I did all the electrics in the whole van, and I'd done nothing more than wire a conventional plug before. I had no knowledge. You've got YouTube, you know, and online tutorials. There are loads of other van lifers who their way of making money is they create a website and they put out blogs that are useful for other van lifers.
for anyone, you can really apply yourself and learn what you need to learn, and that in itself is ever so rewarding, isn't it? To think that everything in
Yeah.
here we've built ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.